Welcome to the Manders Mindset podcast. Here you'll find both monologue and interviews of entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and a variety of other people, where your host Amanda Russo will discuss her own mindset and perspective and her guest mindset and perspective on the world around us. Manders and her guests will help explain to you how shifting your mindset will shift your life.
Welcome to Manders Mindset. In case you're new here, I'm your host, Amanda Russo. And today, I want to talk about the word need. So many of us use this so frequently, whether it's, I need my phone, I need my coffee, I need some water. Or, in my case, I needed everything in my suitcase that didn't arrive to Mount Shasta. Or so I thought I needed all of that. But have you ever stopped to really think, what do I really need? In this episode, I'll share how losing my luggage taught me the true meaning of the word need, how it shifted my mindset, and gave me so much clarity. And also how this perspective can help you transform within your own life. Now let's explore what the word need really means. So I'll never forget, I arrived to Oregon. I was being picked up by three of my really close girlfriends, Meg, Liz, and Frances. And now we were road tripping it about an hour and a half to Mount Shasta from Oregon. Now, I got there, went to the luggage belt, was waiting for my bag to come off. I'm waiting. Seems like all the bags come off and mine doesn't. Now, fast forward, I speak to a woman and she tried to call United Airlines for me. She was not able to get a hold of them, but she informed me that they don't always answer her and that I should call this number, try to get them to get me my bag. Okay. My girl Meg, who's always got my back, came in and was like, yo, Manders, what is going on? And she spoke to the woman with me, and the woman was just like, look, they don't always want to answer me. I don't know where this bag is. We eventually found out later it was in Wisconsin. We left the airport, and I began navigating, trying to contact this 1-800 United number to determine how to get my bag to me. And I dealt with a lot of frustrations initially. Some of the, why is this happening to me? I need this hat, I need this. All of these different things that I, quote unquote, needed. And this almost victim mentality of course this is happening to me. And at first I was thinking, how am I going to make this work with everything I packed? And I had boots, I had my coat, I had winter gear, I had my bathing suit, and all these different things of how, why. A negative mindset, if you will. And y'all know, a negative mindset will not help you in any situation, but especially in a situation when you need to navigate and figure out where to go from here. I started to realize, and I started to really take a step back. You know, I was forced to take this step back in so many ways because I didn't have so many of my belongings with me. So I had my carry-on, but for reference, my carry-on consisted of my laptop, a notebook, my planner, my gratitude journal, my eye mask, my AirPods, not getting me too far. And with having so minimal actual things with me, it gave me the opportunity to be more present, to become more aware to what I actually needed versus what I wanted. There's a difference. I wanted my winter boots. I didn't need them. I started to realize I had everything I needed. I had my health. I was physically safe. Everything I needed was within me. The present moment, my breath. I had my divine friends who I love to death. And Meg and Liz got my back. I've got theirs. I wasn't alone. I wasn't with strangers or people I barely know, which I've been on trips like that as well. So even more so, I had all the reasons to feel safe. And it was reminding myself of that. Amanda, you have everything you need and more, actually. Losing my luggage really made me reflect and think about just how much time and energy I spend thinking about the things I need or I think I need. Let me ask you something and reflect on this. How often do we convince ourselves that something that brings us comfort, whether it's an item, a routine, even other people, it's not a need, it's a want? These things are just extras. And yes, we would want them and it would be beneficial and maybe it would quote unquote heighten our experience, but it also might not. This could even be something with packing. For in terms of traveling, I'm someone who is an overpacker and I consider myself to be always prepared for every and anything, which there is so much synchronicity in me having nothing. Maybe it's in you needing to do your morning routine a certain way because this is how you do it every single day and you do not do one thing off, which I'm somebody who does the same routine every single day. But is it a need for you or is it a want? There's a lot of things in our lives that we tell ourselves we need. I need this specific brand of creatine. Okay, Amanda, if they stop selling that, what are you going to do? Never going to take creatine again? Or are you going to adjust that quote unquote need? That's just another random example of a conversation I was having with a gym friend. But it's the same concept. Needs and wants. Like, I need to do breath work at this time. Okay, and if something happens and you're unable to, I need this person to be here. And then if they're not, when I got lost in Bali, one of my biggest frustrations was I felt, and I kept saying to myself, I quote unquote, need to talk to my best friend because he's somebody I talked to about shit that just happened, needed that mindset shift, or so I felt like I needed that mindset shift. But in all actuality, I wanted it. I didn't need it. There's a huge difference. These are just a few different examples of different areas of my life for you guys to reflect on something that you think you need, but could actually do without. How does the thought of letting it go feel? Feel. When I stopped fighting and resisting the situation that I only had so much control over, I felt so much peace and honestly freedom. I felt a lot of freedom because we're going to the beach this day. Well, I'm not packing a bag because what am I putting in it? So freedom in that sense and peace in the simplicity of it all. Like not having to worry about all of these things. Not even worry, but not having to even think and just be, mindfully be in the present moment. I was able to surrender to what was the situation. And some people have mixed feelings about the word surrender. And here's the thing, guys. Surrender doesn't mean giving up or giving in. It means trusting that I'm okay and the situation is okay. I want you guys to reflect on where you are holding on too tightly and what you might be able to let go of. Even if it feels scary or uncomfortable, letting go is making space for something else. Maybe it's clarity. Maybe it's downloads. Maybe it's new opportunities. What I realized the most was that I was physically safe. I didn't need anything else. I didn't need any of these comfort items, any of these things that made me feel more at home or more myself. I was always physically safe. I didn't need my usual comforts. I needed to connect with my body and my breath. So I connected and leaned in heavy on some grounding practices. That meant morning breathwork live with my breathwork community. That also meant any grounding practices for myself. Every single morning, I would walk out on the balcony and just stand on the freezing cold deck barefoot. And then I'd run inside freaking out that I was freezing. But those were just two different things. You know, any grounding technique. One that I really love is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. You count it for 4 seconds, breathing in, you hold it for 7, and then you let it out for a slow exhale of 8. And I did that a few times. It shut my mind off, and I leaned into anything that helped me feel okay, feel present, feel into the moment, and just know I'm okay. I'm physically safe. I have everything I could need. Coming off the Mount Shasta trip, I headed home, slept in my bed for 2 nights. Then I headed to the Essence Yoga retreat where I facilitated breathwork for some magical women at this beautiful yoga retreat. And that really reinforced everything I learned and I uncovered when I went to Mount Shasta. It really reinforced everything I learned about simplicity and intentionality. I've always been someone who is overprepared and packs all these things. And even for my breathwork sessions, if you've done breathwork with me in person, you know I bring a lot of stuff. That being said, having had this experience at Mount Shasta, right leading up to this Essence Yoga retreat, it was just that reminder to me of the simplicity that there's nothing more that is needed. I was also taught that when I went and got facilitated in breathwork by my mentor, that one of the biggest benefits of breathwork is you don't need anything with it. You don't need an eye mask. It's beneficial. You don't need headphones. They're beneficial. But it was this utter reminder of the simplicity of even my breath, of breath work, of coming back to this present moment, of the simplicity of, again, do I need it? Or is it a want? I want to wear an eye mask during breath work, but I don't need to. We now have noise canceling headsets that I use for in-person breathwork sessions, and they're amazing. But this was also yet another reminder that these are just an added benefit. They're not needed. Are they amazing? Do they enhance the experience? Absolutely. But again, they're a want. They're not a need. It also reminded me and brought me into the moment of intentionality and setting intentions for everything you're doing. What is the intention of this? Before you walk outside for this fresh air, the intention is to just clear my senses and just see this beautiful view. I'm so excited to see the wilderness. I love the outdoors. But it's so important to create small, meaningful, intentional moments in our everyday and to reflect and just be. You know, every morning I would walk out there and I'd have nothing with me. I wouldn't have my phone. Sometimes I'd have a water, but not always because it was freezing and then the water would make me more cold. But usually I'd go out there with nothing and I'd just stand there and reflect and think for a minute. Sometimes I'd sit on the patio. I tried sitting in the hammock and it was one I didn't really know how to sit on. That's a whole other conversation for a different day. But finding these little moments to reflect and be intentional. And you know, between Mount Shasta and my Essence Yoga retreat, you don't need anything to create these intentional moments. All I had was myself. Hell, I walked outside barefoot. Even Meg and Liz told me each day, Amanda, when are you going to learn? If your feet are freezing, you're going to be freezing. But I didn't need anything to create this intentional, meaningful moment for myself. And I'd go back into my room and I'd sit on the bed and I'd journal and I'd reflect and downloads would come. And I encourage you to find a moment in your life where you can implement an intentional practice. And again, we think we need all these things. I need these crystals, like I've got this rose quartz here. I need my sound bowl to do this meditation, to do this breathwork practice. No, you don't. No, you don't. I needed hiking shoes to go hiking too. Guess what? I went hiking without hiking shoes. I wore Meg's sneakers. Shout out to Meg, Liz, and Francis for their mental and emotional support throughout that week. But that's the deal. We don't need all of the things we think we do. None of us do. Both of these experiences really highlighted for me that when you strip away everything, what truly matters isn't the things you have, but the connection to yourself. Your needs are so much simpler than you think. We think we need these things, these people, all of these whatever. No, we don't. I would have been fine even if this situation happened to me and I was by myself. I would have figured it out. Everything's figure outable, guys. No, that's not a quote from me. It's a book. But it really is. Our needs are so much more simpler than we realize. And everything else is just outside noise. If you're still listening to me, I want to challenge you to reflect this week on what do you really need? what can you let go of to make space in your life for clarity, for insights, for new things to happen, for new experiences, new environments? Reflect, breathe, and see what comes up. Journal on this and really think on this, because I think it's something that our society, I hear all the time, oh, I need to do this. I need to go here. I need to get this. Do you though? Do you? I don't know. Maybe you do, but maybe you don't. If this resonated with you, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, needs, those wants, letting that go and surrendering and trusting the present moment, and also grounding in to physical safety in whatever way works best for you. Well, I hope this helps you guys reflect and shift your mindset on what we need. The holiday season is around the corner as well. There's all of these different sales and deals, and you need this, you should have this. What do you need? Wants and needs are different. I hope this episode helps you reflect a little bit on the difference between the two. So guys, to quickly recap, 3 major lessons that I learned throughout these 2 adventures of mine. First being the difference between needs versus wants, and that they are not the same. The second being surrendering and trusting, and it doesn't mean giving up by surrendering. It means knowing you are okay in this current present reality that you are living. You're physically safe. And the last lesson being grounding in physical safety, whether that be with taking deep breaths, whether that be going outside in nature, maybe that's shaking. And it might sound like, did you just say shaking? Yes, I said shaking. We did shaking when I went to Bali each morning, and we would literally just physically shake our bodies because you were letting energy out. And while this might sound crazy, I encourage you, set a 3-minute timer and just stand up and shake your whole body and tell me that you don't feel energetically different, because I don't believe you. Anyways, focusing on something to ground yourself in physical safety. Well, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. And did these lessons help you? Let me know. You can reach me on Instagram at The Breathing Goddess or Manders Mindset. Leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. Comment on the podcast on YouTube. I'd love to hear what you guys are taking away from this. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this reflective episode of Manders Mindset. Thanks, guys. Until next time. In case no one told you today, I'm proud of you. I'm rooting for you. And you got this. As always, if you enjoyed the show, I would really appreciate it if you would leave me a 5-star rating, leave a review, and share it with anyone you think would benefit from this. And don't forget, you are only one mindset shift away from shifting your life. Thanks, guys. Until next time.